self-driving or autonomous technology is transforming the movement of people and goods on the road, in the air, and increasingly on the high seas. The global market for autonomous ships expanded more than 5% last year and is expected to grow as much as 30% by 2028.
With 90% of the world's goods transported by sea, the potential for an autonomous industry is as vast as the oceans themselves. These crewless vessels operate independently without direct human control, using advanced sensors, navigation systems, and artificial intelligence. One report says the market is set to exceed $10 billion in 2029. At $7.7 billion last year, it is expected to expand at a compound annual growth rate of more than 7%. Asia-Pacific dominates the industry, with the region's rapid advances in technology, significant investments, and extensive maritime activities.
It's natural that is taking the lead in this autonomy transformation. This is also due because of the tradition that traditionally this area is tends to be able to accelerate on new technology adoption, and also have typically a pragmatic approach with all the regulations.
These ships make a strong business case. They optimize travel routes, and that means navigational efficiencies and fuel savings. It also means better safety, with swift response capabilities to emergencies, reducing accidents caused by human error.
When ships go aground or collide, it is almost every time because there are human errors. So I think autonomy can make shipping safer and more efficient. I think that's what they have succeeded with in aviation, that the pilot is very well assisted by these digital solutions. And we are still not completely there in the maritime sector. And that's where I think autonomy could help.
Industry experts add that the shortage of qualified seafarers and savings on crew expenses have driven interest in autonomous solutions.
There is recognition in Japan, at least, that there is a crew crisis in that you haven't got the people coming through, and therefore one solution, which is one you're taking, is to automate rather than train or source new crew. The crews that are currently around are aging out. They're average 60, 65, which means there are people at sea who are more than 70. They'll be retiring in the next 20 years. If you haven't got crew and you still need the goods, then you need a delivery system.
The electric container ship Yara Birkeland has become a pioneering force in autonomous maritime transport since it began commercial operations in 2022. It undertakes 2 voyages a week, transporting around 100 containers on each journey, with only 3 crew members. Plans are in the works for 5 voyages a week and a crew of only 2. Still, the widespread deployment of large, fully autonomous ships in international waters is a long-term prospect.
Unmanned ships in a larger scale, I mean, container vessels, tankers, passenger ships, it's far in the future. It will take time, and in the foreseeable future, 20, 25 years, you will have a mixed fleet. You will still have the normal ships with a normal crew on board, and more autonomous ships coming into the market.
Ships typically have a lifespan of 20 to 25 years, and newly constructed vessels will continue to operate for a couple of decades. Issues of reliability and communications also need to be overcome.
We are concerned about technology, whether it is safe enough. We need to have a perfect communication between ships, autonomous ships, and the control center. We are worried about cybersecurity issue, and we still don't know how we can use autonomous ships in the busy sea lane like Straits of Malacca and Singapore, and also busy ports all over the world.
To balance innovation with safety and accountability, the international maritime community is building a set of standards so that autonomous systems are compatible worldwide. But harmonization, which is key to the success of digitalization in the maritime industry, is easier said than done.
Everybody screams for harmonization, but nobody wants to be harmonized. And that's the trouble in this. One thing is that the development in this area is driven by commercial companies. It's often not the authorities that is driving the digitalization forward. It's private companies. And of course they work from their own setup in the country where they belong.
Observers say as regulations and standards become clearer, investments in this sector will grow, which will in turn drive the progress of autonomous shipping adoption in the maritime industry.
And for more on the industry, CNA will be down at the Singapore Maritime Week starting tomorrow. You can catch our coverage here on CNA and on cna.asia.